These are 5 disturbing creepypastas. Number 5. The story behind the Smile Dog follows an amateur writer meeting up with a woman who has a terrifying tale to share. Upon the writer's arrival, the woman freaks out and locks herself in the room, refusing to see him while she cries and talks nonsense. Apparently she worked at a bulletin board system in the early 90s, where she and an estimated 400 other people saw a terrifying image posted as a hyperlink. The image in question was titled smile.jpg. It was a picture of a husky sitting in a dim room with a sinister grin revealing 2 rows of very sharp human-like teeth. That would be creepy enough to scare anyone, but it gets worse. Those who saw the picture will be haunted by it in their nightmares, provoking panic and anxiety to the point of madness. Such is the case of the woman in the story. She ended up taking her own life. The only way to supposedly prevent the insanity was to pass it on to others. Number 4. This story begins with a couple who decided they wanted to go out for the night, so they called up their usual babysitter to take care of the kids. When the babysitter arrived, the children were already asleep, so she decided that she would pass the time by watching some TV. However, the only TV in the house that had cable was inside the parents' bedroom, so she called them to see if it was okay with them. The parents agreed, but then the babysitter asked if she could cover up the angel statue which was situated in the room, as it made her feel nervous. Upon hearing this, the father hesitated, then instructed her to immediately get the kids out of the house and call the police, because they did not own an angel statue. When the police arrived, the babysitter and children were found lifeless in a pool of blood, and the statue had disappeared. Number 3. This creepypasta describes a photographer who decided to find out more about an old children's show that he used to watch as a child in wartime Lebanon. From what he remembers, the half-hour show relied on very graphic imagery and scare tactics to keep children from misbehaving. He believes that the show was an attempt by the media to keep children in check. The one thing that the photographer remembered the most was the closing scene of every episode. It was the same every time. The camera would slowly zoom in towards an old rusted iron door, and as it got closer, screams could be heard. The closer the camera got to the door, the louder and clearer the screams would get. When the screaming couldn't get any worse, an Arabic text reading, "That's where bad kids go," would pop up, signifying the end of the episode. Years later, the photographer managed to track down the studio where the old show was filmed. Although the place looked like it had been abandoned for a long time, the infamous rusted door from his childhood was still there. He then discovered that beyond the door lay a small room which was covered with traces of blood and bones. What scared him the most though was a caged microphone which was hung from the middle of the room. Number 2. In 2003 in the northeast United States, there was an incident involving a strange human-like creature which attracted a lot of attention from local media. After the story initially broke, most online and written documents were mysteriously destroyed. Although these accounts were gone, sightings of the creature continued to become more frequent. What's odd is that many people reacted differently to the creature. In fact, the emotions experienced ranged from traumatic levels of fright to an almost childlike sense of curiosity. The sightings continued, and so the hunt for more information began. Finally, in 2006, a collaboration of various researchers made a chilling discovery. They had unearthed nearly 24 documents dating from the 12th century to the present day, all of them describing various sightings of a creature called the Rake. Number 1. This story is told from the perspective of a person who interned at Nickelodeon Studios during 2005 as an animation student. The student and some other co-workers received a tape to edit titled Squidward's Suicide, which they initially assumed was just an office prank. The video consists of Squidward sitting on a bed, while strange and upsetting noises play and become louder in the background. The scene is filled with flashes of children and gore, the noises getting louder when cutting back to Squidward, his face shaded black with red eyes as seen above. Eventually, Squidward shoots himself after a detached deep voice commands it, and that is the end of the video. Though scary, it's most probably a fake.